Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, and salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. This lesson will be entitled, More Chariots.
Now first, and it's just going to be quick, please forgive me, but I can't resist. I mean, this is a fascinating story of the kind that I never thought I'd cover on this show.
Strange lights spotted off our coast are getting a lot of attention. Video shows 14 glowing orbs hovering in the air. Look at this. This is off the Outer Banks. The man recording the video can be heard saying he's in the middle of the ocean on a ferry. He says no land or boats were nearby and question.
These are not UFOs. These are the chariots of Israel. These vehicles will be utilized by Yahweh and the heavenly host, all right, to destroy 2/3 of our people, okay, as well as these other nations, beginning with the Edomites, all right. Also, these chariots will be vehicles for salvation for the elect. Okay. They have a dual purpose.
What is this? Online, the video has gone viral, with many speculating it's likely the military, while others believe it's more evidence we are not alone in the universe. According to the National UFO Reporting Center, North Carolina is considered one of the most active places in the country for UFO sightings.
Who would have known?
What do you think, Mike?
Well, you know, at first I thought maybe those were Chinese lanterns because at night, you know, they kind of glow.
Yeah.
But it's still far away,
That was pretty far
and it's out to sea, so it's not that. And others have chimed in and said it's some military flares.
Right.
I don't know.
I was thinking drones, but then it's far away.
I don't
think so.
And from what I read in the article a few days ago, the lights went out, and then 2 minutes later they came back on.
Just a few weeks ago, the Navy admitted for the first time that several UFO videos were real, meaning they show actual area phenomenon that so far the Pentagon cannot explain.
And it's really at that point we'll be able to make some sort of definitive conclusion, keeping in mind that we still have to follow the scientific process and methods, and at the same time have peer review. So it's not just as simple as coming out and saying, hey, look what we found. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done.
I bet that's right, and of course you'll be challenged as
The scientific process is a spiritual meaning, okay? These are spiritual vehicles, okay, utilized by Yahweh and the heavenly host, all right? Because when you go into the term science, it means to know. And the elect of Israel know what these vehicles are and these vehicles' purposes, as well as the nobility of Esau.
he ought to be challenged, I think.
These flying objects caught on camera by the U.S. Navy, some of them off the California coast, have baffled people around the world. Tonight, the military is finally admitting they have no idea what they are.
Navy calls them an
And they do.
unidentified aerial phenomena and confirms they are real.
It's rotating.
As we both looked out the right side of our airplane, we saw a disturbance in the water and a white object, oblong, pointing north.
The U.S. Navy aircraft recorded the objects during a training mission. A commander says they looked like 40-foot-long Tic Tacs that changed direction very rapidly.
This was extremely abrupt, like a ping pong ball bouncing off a wall. The ability to hover over the water and then start a vertical climb from...
He said hover. He said hover, right? I'm glad he said that. Salakia. Genesis 1 and 1. In the beginning, the Elohim created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the spirits of the Elohim moved upon the face of the waters. Let's focus on that term, moved. In the Hebrew, Strong's H 7363, pronounced as rakapa, to hover. Okay, that's what that Edomite just stated, that how he saw these vehicles hovering. All right, so the Elohim, when they created the world, what we see today, they utilize chariots, because when you go into that term hover, it means to levitate or to linger, which are both abilities of the chariot or of the chariots. He also said it was white. All right. Revelation 6 and 2, and I saw and behold a white horse, symbolic for a chariot, and he that sat on him, and that he is referring to Yahushua, had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. All right.
Basically 0 up towards about 12,000 feet, and then accelerate in less than 2 seconds and disappear is...
These chariots are not defined by the laws of gravity.
Something I had never seen in my life.
They are the U.S. Navy videos that have made the rounds on the internet.
My gosh!
And had the world speculating on what the military had captured. The unidentified flying objects even had the Navy pilots wondering what they were looking at.
Look at this thing! It's rotating.
Officials argue these videos were never supposed to be released to the public, but yet they were. Here we are talking about it.
Or as Navy spokesman Joseph Gratishuk put it, the Navy considers the phenomena contained or depicted in these.
And if you continue to watch this video, it's a clip with Donald Trump, and he states that he doesn't believe in UFOs, okay? But at the same time frame, he continues to fund the Star Wars project. Why? Because he's lying. Exodus 13 and 21. All right. Now, this account is when we were leaving out of Egypt, and the Lord Yahweh went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud, which is a chariot to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire, hence a chariot to give them light to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. All right. So the chariots, okay, has been here since the beginning of the world, which means or classify the chariots as old technology, okay? Exodus 31 and 16, wherefore the sons of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the sons of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord Yahweh made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. And he gave unto Moses, when he had made an end of communing with him upon Mount Sinai, 2 tables of testimony, tables of stone, written with the finger of the Most High. All right, so these 2 tables of testimony, okay, words came upon these 2 tables of testimony by laser technology. And to prove that, when you go into the finger of the Most High, in Hebrew, that finger means power of the Most High. What was the power of the Most High? This laser technology, okay, that came from the chariots. All right. Acts 1:9. And when he had spoken these things, referring to Yahushua, while they beheld, referring to the disciples, he was taken up, and a cloud, which is a chariot, received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men, which were angels, stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. All right, and let's prove that. Isaiah 63 and verse 1. Who is this that come from Edom? And Edom is actually so-called white people. Their biblical identity are the Edomites, with dyed garments from Basra, modern-day America. This that is glorious in his apparel, referring to the chariot, traveling in the greatness of his strength, referring to Yahushua's chariot, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. All right. Zechariah 5. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes, and looked, and behold, a flying roll, which is a chariot. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answer, I see a flying roll, which is a chariot. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits, measurements of the chariot. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that go forth over the face of the whole earth. The reason why we see these chariots. For everyone that steals shall be cut off, Edomites, as on this according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, the Edomites, as on that side according to it. Okay? So this flying roll is a chariot. Matthew 2:1. Now when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod, which was an Edomite, the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star. And that star is symbolic talk for a chariot in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. I'm going to jump down to verse 7. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, Go and search diligently for the young child. And when ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star, which is a chariot, which they saw in the east, went before them. That's how you know it's a chariot, because that star went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. So the wise men found Yahushua by the chariot. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. Psalms 68:13. Though ye have lain among the pots, yet shall ye be as the wings of a dove, referring to a chariot covered with silver, a description of a chariot, and her feathers with yellow gold. And this is referring to a description of a chariot. Verse 17, the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. All right, you can't get around that. Revelation 10 and 12. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, a chariot, and a rainbow was upon his head, multicolors. That is what that rainbow represents. And his face was as it were the sun. It was extremely bright, and his feet as pillars of fire, referring to the chariot's landing parts. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea, referring to the landing part of the chariot, and his left foot on the earth, referring to the landing part of the chariot. So this is a gigantic chariot. All right. Get one more. Check Daniel 10. Let's go to 7. Daniel 7 and 9. Daniel 7 and 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, the Most High, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire, referring to a chariot. All right, last precept. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Then shall the righteous man, the elect man of Israel, stand in great boldness out there on the highways and the byways, before the face of such as have afflicted him, beginning with Esau and these other nations, as well as these 2/3 niggas, and made no account of his labors. Well, Salakia, I take that back. Let me read that again. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness on the highways and the byways. Okay? The elect man before the face of such as have afflicted him, beginning with Esau and these other nations, and made no account of his labors. Verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Hence the chariot. Or hence the chariots, so far beyond all that they look for. Right, because they're not spiritual. Okay? So we, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, understand the purposes of the chariots. We understand that they have a dual purpose, meaning they're going to save the elect and destroy 2/3 of our people and these other nations, beginning with Esau. Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Shalom.